Okay, so Ted has right side weakness after having a CBA, and our goal is to get him upright and onto the side of the bed, or sitting upright on the side of the bed. So we learned that there's two different approaches. One is compensatory and one is remedial. One is compensatory and one is remedial. And compensatory is ideal if you only have a couple of days and you need to teach him ways to use his own home environment, whereas remedial is ideal for a rehab setting where you're going to be hopefully making his condition improve rather than just helping him adjust to it. So, since he has right-sided weakness, we wanted him to sit. For compensatory, it would be on that side, the opposite side of the weak side. In which case, we would roll him that way and then move his legs over and sit upright. Whereas if you're doing remedial, you would, or is that backward? That's awesome. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So whereas if it's remedial, you would have him roll onto his weak side, giving him that proprioceptive input and the weight bearing on the side that's weak. That's going to help him with his neurological re-education.
Exactly.
So since he has good strength on the left side, he's able to help out as much as possible with that, and I will help him with the right side. So should I demonstrate compensatory or remedial? Or both?
Do both. Let's do both.
Okay, so for compensatory, we're going to be rolling him over his right side.
And instead of rolling him, say helping him to roll.
Helping him, okay.
Because you want him to be an active participant
Right.
in this and making it more therapeutic. And
especially because he has that strength on the left side.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to be helping Ted roll over that way. So let's start by scooting over this side. So I know you have a lot of strength on this side, so let's roll. I'll help you move your leg this way, and it's always good to help move the extremity proximally because that minimizes the what was the term?
The resistance.
Yeah, the resistance arm. Yeah. Okay, so let's not have this leg over yet, but we're gonna roll so that your weaker arm is matching the other side. Okay.
So, or you could also say, just roll on your left side.
Okay.
You could say that, and that's very simple for him. So if he does have cognitive deficits
Yeah.
or perceptual deficits or aphasia, or anything,
Okay.
he can't understand you, just very simple language. Roll on your left side, Ted.
Okay. So let's roll on your left side. I'll help as much as I.
And it's great if you could put one leg on top of the other. Yeah.
The other one.
You guys can move over if you can. Yeah. Okay. So now he's sidelined, kind of. It looks like he's almost too close to the edge. Just for the ease of the thing. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
So the next step would be to move the legs over the edge of the bed and roll upwards.
Correct.
And you have a lot of strength on the side, so you can help push out with your strong side.
Sure.
So let's.
Should my legs be over?
Yeah. So move your legs forward this way, and then all the motion to flip that.
Good. Good.
So that's a compensatory method.
And it's compensatory because we went towards his stronger side, and that really what that's doing is strengthening the stronger side, and it's not really incorporating the weaker side. And so as Ellen, you have an Ella?
No.
I'm sorry. Delete that. Ellen mentioned you have a compensatory strategy which helps a person do what they have to do in situations where we need to get this person home. He's independent at home. He doesn't have anyone to support him. So we're going to go towards the stronger side. Great. Okay, now let's see the remedial approach where you're really focused on the neuromuscular re-education.
Okay.
You're really going to input a whole lot of proprioceptive kinesthetic feedback into that right side.
Okay.
And this is what you want to try to do anytime you can, is this neuromuscular re-education approach, or the going towards the weaker side.
So this would be more used in a rehab setting where I'll be teaching him compensatory strategies for when he goes home, but ideally we're doing therapy to make it better. So So we're going to roll over towards this way. And so that his shoulder doesn't get pinched or subluxed or anything. And move his arm out to the side and maybe even up if it doesn't hurt. And then roll over this way. And even just this position is therapeutic because it's having a lot of resistance from the weight of the strong side, giving proprioceptive input into the weaker affected side.
Yeah, this is like one of the most therapeutic positions you could put someone in who has weakness on one side of the body. And in fact, I was just explaining to the groups that we even tell nurses to come, like when they do their rounds, and help people get onto their side, onto their weaker side, and put pillows behind them to keep them propped this way for a couple of hours because it's such good kinesthetic and proprioceptive input to that weak side.
So then the way that you have the person, help the person to sit up is similar to the other way, except as soon as they sit up, they're likely to fall back. So it's important to support them that way. So let's sit up on the side of the bed in the same way that we did before. So using the proximal part of the extremity rather than the ankle, which is what I first tried to do.
Good job, Ted. That's exactly what happened.
So then a good idea is to sit next to them and lean your shoulder against theirs. And that's a very therapeutic way that you can talk with the person without them pulling over.
If they don't have that trunk control.
Right.
And this is a very dependent position for Ted because he's relying on you to hold him up. So what you can do is you can create, can I just switch places with you? What you can do is you can create an even more therapeutic position here by exciting his extensors. So with your two fingers, you can sort of activate in his lumbar spine. You push in and up, and it really gets them to go into this anterior pelvic tilt. You'll learn more about this during stroke rehab later in the semester. And you can also place his weak arm and hand against your own leg and against your knee so that he's weight bearing through his arm, because that really is very beneficial for his right upper extremity as well. And then the bed is a little bit high and he's not exactly on the edge where his feet can touch the floor, but it would be really great if we could get his 2 feet to touch the floor, because then he's weight bearing through his leg. So now you've got weight bearing leg and arm, you're exciting the extensors, you're throwing him into an anterior pelvic tilt, and then you could ask him to reach for things like, can you grab the piece of paper or that magazine? And now all of a sudden he's weight bearing heavily into my leg, in his right arm, into his leg. So it's really perfect. So you set things up in a way where you make it even more therapeutic. So this is really great, I think, to see and understand both ways, towards the left side, towards the right side, what's happening when you do either or. Any questions about that?
Just
Yeah.
a comment. She also told